Welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani, and this is your show. This is where we come together and we talk about just a variety of topics. Just amazing how we seem to conquer the world by these conversations that are happening on Take Two. But I need your help today because it's very, very important that you call in and add to this discussion, because this is our monthly show. It's dedicated to relationships, okay? All about relationships. So if you have a relationship that you'd like to talk about, any type of relationship, a relationship with your spouse, your children, your pets, or your most important relationship with God or with yourself, or any type of relationship, a coworker, neighbors, fellow parishioner, now is the time to call in. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. This show is very popular because we do a lot of life skills here, and it's just really helpful. We've heard that from many folks that go on the Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. By the way, I'm waving to everybody on social media. You guys are fantastic, keeping the chats going. So if you have something to say about a relationship today, or you have a question or a comment, or you'd like some suggestions, or you want to talk about it, or anything of that nature, call in early. Call in right now, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. You can also text us. If you'd like to text a comment in or a question, you text the letters EWTN to 58177. You wait for a response. Then you text your first name and your question or comment, and just know that we'll reply, and data rates may apply to it. So and text messaging rates. So just know that when you're texting. But that's a fabulous way to get in touch with us. Or you can go on social media. We got Michael McCall picking up all the comments there. So I'm waving to everybody again. Thank you so much to all the Take Two family. You can always email us. We read everything. Jerry and I read everything. Charles Beery, our producer, he is so wonderful. He helps us respond. So we're so grateful to him. At take2@EWTN.com. Or you can also, don't forget, we have an ongoing virtual prayer wall on our website, take2show.com. I just remind folks of that because sometimes these relationship shows tend to turn into a prayer show because we're praying for our relationships. And that's great, but that requires a lot of writing on my part. So you can always go to the prayer wall at take2show.com and post your prayers there. But we're talking about any relationships today, all relationships. And it is important to talk about relationship with self because we have to really know ourselves well in order to understand better our relationship with God, and to grow and to use our personalities and our characteristics in order to advance our spiritual lives. And you have a guardian angel that God has appointed to you and only to you. Your guardian angel will never be recycled to anybody else. And your guardian angel is matched to your personality, your characteristics, and your definite style of learning and growing. And that's a beautiful thing. So it's important to know yourself, okay? Because your guardian angel knows you very well. It's really cool. And we can talk about that as well if you wanted to talk anything about the angels. I will tell you that on Friday, well, it's a relationship because it's my relationship with my guardian angel. On Friday, I had a very interesting encounter, and I don't really need to go into the details because the details don't really matter. But it was an interesting encounter that kind of shook me up a bit. I'll be honest with you, and I could immediately feel my guardian angel beside me. And as a matter of fact, the interesting thing about it, and I'm just saying this is, and it's, you can. It's a truth. I witnessed it, and so did the person with me that I was having lunch with. I was kind of rattled so very much that I pretty much knocked the glasses of water and a iced tea. I knocked it over on the table because my hand kind of shook a bit. And this is the truth, folks. There wasn't a drop anywhere on me or my friend or the ground or our food or anything. It was the oddest thing I've ever experienced. And after we walked out, I said, did you notice how like everything was dry, but I knocked it over? And she said, yeah. And I said, I really believe that my guardian angel allowed me not to be embarrassed or humiliated at that point for spilling everything. And so somehow it was made clean. I really do. It was the oddest. I still can't figure it out. I've been thinking about it all weekend. But our guardian angels, they care about us. They want us to move along the spiritual journey. And that relationship is a great relationship. And if you haven't nurtured and cultivated your relationship with your guardian angel yet, please do so today. All you have to do is be aware that your guardian angel is there and has a mission, and the mission is you to get to heaven. And say the guardian angel prayer. Just acknowledge that you have a guardian angel, because that pleases God. That tells God that you get that he has a mission for you. And then your guardian angel goes into high gear. It's really quite beautiful. So anyway, that's the relationship I wanted to share today. Guess what, Take Two family? We've got one open phone line. So if you feel prompted by the Spirit, if you feel that there's a relationship you'd like to talk about, I do have a dear friend who I've been talking to on a regular basis, and she's struggling a bit with a friendship that she's having, because it's kind of an interesting situation that people are in, especially after the pandemic. A lot of folks are dismissing relationships or even rejecting or letting go or disposing of relationships without properly engaging and having, the tools of conflict, can't talk on Monday, conflict resolution, or to agree to disagree or things like that. Seems like people are letting go of relationships too quickly. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like we're not spending the time of really trying to hang on? I know that we're in a day and age where people say, oh, it's toxic, so I got to get away from it. Okay. I understand that, but let's really talk about that. What is toxic and what isn't? So fill that last phone line. You know me, I like a full set of lines plus. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986 is the number to call. And this is your show. Again, I say this every single time. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. If you're listening right now, we believe it's a divine appointment, and this is your chance to call in and share with the world something that's on your mind or heart about a relationship. If you want to praise God about a great relationship, this is the show to do it. 833-288-EWTN. When I come back after this short break, I'm going right to the phones. Wow, you guys have a lot to say on this Monday. I'll be right back.
Do you have some major decisions to make in your life? Are you feeling lost and alone? Not sure what path to take? Life coaching just may be the right option for you. Whether it's to practice accountability or create a better plan that works for you in life, we are here to serve with Christ always at the center. God's plan is always the best for us. We just may not be able to see it right now. Let us help. Secure your absolutely free consultation today at standtalltoday.com.
He is honored as a Doctor of the Incarnation.
Matthew Bunsen and the Doctors of the Church.
Patriarch of Alexandria in the 5th century, St. Cyril of Alexandria was a great opponent of the heretical Nestorians who denied the union of Jesus' human and divine natures. His triumph at the Council of Ephesus in 431 confirmed the title for Mary of God-bearer. For his labors, he is called a pillar of faith.
To find out more, visit EWTN.com and click on Catholicism.
You're invited to this year's Divino Niño Festival at the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament in Hanceville, Alabama. It's Saturday, August 31st, starting at 9 a.m. There'll be concurrent talks on the child Jesus in English and Spanish, Rosary with the Poor Clares of Perpetual Adoration, a festival mass, procession, and Eucharistic healing service. Lunch will be available for purchase. For more information, go to olamshrine.com. That's olamshrine.com. We'd love to see you.
When you call my name, I'll be there.
Oh, that's a catchy little tune coming back from the break. I love that. All about relationships today. Our monthly show on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is your show, so you make it what it is every single time, and you take it to great heights because you love a good discussion. Armando in Central Florida, hold on. Don't go anywhere. I just want to share with our listeners, do you Roku? Roku allows you to instantly stream EWTN to your TV. All you need is a high-speed internet connection and a TV and a Roku player. I have it. I love Roku. For more information, visit EWTN.com/Roku. Okay, let's go to Armando, and Armando's in Central Florida on the EWTN app. Hi, Armando. Thanks for waiting and welcome.
Hi, how are you? God bless you.
Thank you. You as well. Go right ahead.
So, I've been a long life Catholic my entire life. I've been raised in the Catholic Church and received my sacraments as a young child as well. And the conflict I find myself in is that I've been married for 10 years, and just recently we started talking about, children with my in-laws and, my wife and stuff, and we've been trying for a while. Besides the fact that she is a non-denominational Christian,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this process with, because I'm strong in my faith, and my in-laws feel very differently about Catholicism. And ever since I mentioned about, if the baby is born, we have a child, I would like for my son or daughter to attend the Mass, with me or, be baptized as an infant. And they didn't receive that well. They have a strong opinion about, the faith and, what we do as Catholics and our beliefs. I guess my question is, how can I navigate that without, having differences within the family and then things going south, because I'm very close to my family.
Sure.
And I would not, want anything to ruin that relationship that I have with them. But also, I don't see myself leaving the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I hope not. Okay, so let me share a couple things. Actually, you probably picked a good time to call in, because I actually worked in this area for many years with marriage prep and with couples that have been married and trying to figure out, especially if it's a interfaith or ecumenical, a situation where either they're a Catholic and a non-denominational Christian, or a Protestant, or a Catholic and like a Jewish person or something of that nature, and how to navigate that for the children. Okay, so a couple things I wanted to share with you. If you and your wife decide to let the children decide what they want to be, most often they turn out to be nothing. They don't choose any religion. The reason why is because they don't really have the foundation. They don't have the structure in place. They don't have the habits in place, and they don't have parents that are living it out to model it for them. So they don't choose anything, and they don't want to disappoint one parent over the other. So there becomes a real issue for the children. So it's very important to have these conversations, Armando, before the children come into this world. And what I would do is have you had that deep conversation with your wife and explain to her that she's a non-denominational Christian, so she has a beautiful Bible-based understanding of Christianity, which is fabulous and can really enhance Catholicism. But you, as a baptized Catholic, in your living out your faith, you would like your children to be Catholic and to embrace all that Catholicism, Holy Mother Church has to offer, which is the Eucharist, the source and summit of our Christian life. If she is open to that, what I would do is draw on that and let her contribute all the Bible and all the Christian elements and rituals and things that can come into play, and then you take the lead on the Catholicism part. If it's still up in the air and it's still kind of, you're not sure what to do about it, I really think you have to have a family discussion, because Armando, let me share this with you. I know you love your wife, and I know you love your in-laws and everybody, but your soul is the most important thing. It's the most important. And the idea of us being Catholics, and we have a rich understanding of how we are to try to get to heaven and bring as many souls as possible. So you have been tasked with that. That's what you get to do, is be that beautiful role model, that beautiful leader in the family to keep Catholicism alive and going strong in the next generation that comes, God willing, if God blesses you with children. But I will tell you that there are some people that compromise, or they let go because they say, I don't want to lose my wife, I don't want to lose my spouse. That's very unfortunate, because it doesn't have to be that way. With discussions and really deep conversations, and even some debates, and even going to counseling and going to some priests, you can really move this ball down the field and come to a great understanding that it really should be Catholicism that is in your family. What do you say to that? I've said a lot, but I'm a big believer. I was married in an interfaith marriage. My former husband was Jewish, and let me tell you, the good news was we had those very hard conversations, and he agreed to raise the kids Catholic, and he did a great job on that in that area. But I got to tell you, there was a point there where I had to make a decision. I came very close to leaving the relationship because it got very dicey there for a while on whether or not we were going to get a strong, clear path with Catholicism. I'd like to hear your comments, though, and I know our Take Two family's waiting to hear them as well.
Yeah, I've actually myself have found myself in that situation where I find myself alone driving or at home thinking about, what is it that I want, and I thought about the conclusion of, I'd choose Jesus over, my marriage. But then I hold on to the fact that God says, that no man can split anything. I'm not supposed to be the one to split the marriage, and that's kind of where I find myself as to it's difficult for me, but I cannot put Jesus second, and for me, I've explained to my wife, I'm like, if Jesus has all of these holy sacraments for us to receive, why would you not want that? Why would you not want to come to church and receive everything that he has to offer, you, me, and everybody else? Mm-hmm. And it's one of those topics that I've even had with my in-laws, the four of us sitting down, talking about it. And, my father was a Catholic before, and I didn't ask why he left the church. I wish he would come back. But their ideology is, we worship saints, and they can't get past it. But I try to help them understand, intercession and what the purpose of that is. But they don't seem to get past that. Yeah. The responses that I get are, you guys are idolizing other, people that aren't Jesus, and they don't understand that. And it's kind of a spot that I feel like I'm fighting for, which I would, because it's about God at the end of the day. I just these are conversations that I know have to be had, but when it comes to family, it's kind of a difficult spot. So,
well, may I ask this question? And I'm really not trying to be critical, but didn't you have any of these conversations before you walked down that aisle? Yes, because my wife, she knew that I was Catholic before we got married, and she was accepting of it. But the thing that we never talked about, and I blame myself a lot for this, is the fact that when it came to children, because at first she never told me if she was open to children or not. I was optimistic and hopeful that she would. And now that this talk is out on the table, it's coming into play as to, it's because my mother-in-law and father-in-law have a big influence on her, which I understand to a certain extent. But I just wish they would kind of let us go on our own journey to formalize our family and guide our children the way we would like. And I feel like a lot of times their opinions get in the way of our religions and our beliefs, and that's kind of a conflict for me, because as Catholics, we're also Christian, and I've explained that to her, but it's kind of, I find myself in a situation as to, I've got on my knees before and prayed to God, and I honestly felt like God was in front of me with his arms on my shoulders saying it's going to be okay. Yeah. Okay. So this, I believe this is confirmation. So Armando, a couple things I'd like you to maybe consider. Pray the novena, Lady Undoer of Knots. Okay. Pray to Our Lady, and bring her in on this situation. And I would definitely bring in some fasting. It doesn't have to be fasting from food for this intention, so that you can get clarity on going forward. The other thing I would do, Armando, is I would go and visit a priest and have a priest come and talk to you and your wife, and maybe even the extended family, on the importance of a Catholic, remaining Catholic, and raising kids in the Catholic Church. I would do that, and then I would also even go to a Catholic counselor or a Catholic coach and make sure that everybody's on the same page, because you don't want things happening down the road after children come into this world. That's what you don't want. You want it, everything out on the table, and a clear understanding and a path forward. Okay, but Armando, let me just share this with you. Before even thinking about leaving anything or doing anything or anything like that, or walking away, always remember this. the Lord will provide. And you have the very rich Catholic Church and the sacraments that are provided to all of us. So you have the ability to receive our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in the most holy Eucharist. It is everything. And so once a person knows that it is truly he is truly present, they can never walk away. They really can't. Now if somebody wants to deny that he's truly present, well, yeah, then they can walk away. But if you really believe he is present in the Eucharist, you can't walk away. So your goal, your task is to bring your wife, your children, maybe, and her family, anyone else around you, towards that truth. And so I just wanted to encourage you in that area and stay strong. But I always tell everyone, I've said this from day one, since 1989, being in full-time ministry, never, ever walk away from the Eucharist. Any final quick comments?
Yeah, and that's another thing. I've been with her to the church that she attends and support. But I just there's something about without denigrating the way they practice their faith.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about me that every time that I step away from the Catholic Church, I don't feel right with myself. And every time that I tell her I go to Mass, I feel like I've taken away something. I feel like I'm at home. I feel comfortable there. And it's something I can't explain to her, but every time that I've gone, like I said, to the church that she goes to, I don't feel right. Mm-hmm. And I don't tell her because I don't want to make her feel bad. I just know where I belong.
Well, then stay. Then stay. And ask God to help you, have your guardian angel help you, have the angels and saints help you, and to help you. It can be done. You just have to stay strong. And we're going to be praying for a very wonderful outcome with this. Would you keep us posted, please?
I will. I sure will. I will. I'm definitely, I listen to the station every day.
Good.
I'm a devout Catholic, and I appreciate you taking my call and for everybody's opinion. God bless you all. Thanks.
Absolutely. We've got the Take Two family praying right now. Wow. Okay, guys, we really need to pray for Armando. He wants to raise the children Catholic, and he should be able to. And so there should be at least that support there, and that's important, and that's what we need in marriages, because that's not a good thing when it starts off that way. So we really want to have those prayers go up to heaven to help him see some forward movement in that area. Okay, we're going to go to, I'm just going to check with Charles, because I just want to make sure I have a little bit of time to say hello to Amanda. Amanda's in Birmingham, Alabama, on Guadalupe Radio Network. I have just a couple minutes to say hello, Amanda, but I'm just going to tell you up front, I need you to hold on through the break, but go right ahead. Welcome. Hi,
hey,
Amanda.
how are you?
Good. Go right ahead.
So I was just calling for prayers because my husband of 22 years, we have 5 kids together, and I am in recovery from alcohol, and I am very active in the Catholic and Recovery program, and we're temporarily separated, and I haven't been able to see the kids since June, and hopefully by the end of August we can have something resolved, but it's he's just been up really cold lately, and so I just need some prayers. So. And I'm about to go into confession at EWTN, so I don't have a lot of time either. So.
Okay, so I'll just say real quickly, you've got prayers all around you. The Take Two family is dedicated to prayer. We are prayer warriors. But you're doing the right thing, going to confession. I love that. Stay strong, and similar to what I shared with Armando, do the same thing. Add some fasting into your daily life for this intention to bring everything back around. Okay, Amanda?
Okay. All right.
You got this. Stay strong. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Way to go. That is a beautiful call. Wow. I see how I told you guys this turns into a prayer show. It ends up turning into a prayer show because we're praying for our relationships. And it's so apparent to me. Like I go on Facebook, on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, and Lydia said relationships are hard. And in order for them to be great, you have to work at it. It's so true. Relationships are tough. We come into this world with different childhood, different upbringing, different circumstances, different cultures, different all sorts of things, different practices, different rituals, different customs, you name it. And you put people in a relationship, and they're expected to always play nice. Well, it doesn't always happen that way. So, you know, it does have to, you have to work at it and have those really great conversations to keep going and to make sure that both are the best versions of themselves and to get to heaven, you know, especially in a marital relationship. We are supposed to help each other get to heaven. So how do we do that? We really must work to support each other and lift each other up to really be spiritually the best we can be. It's really an interesting thing. It's a dance, and relationships are just like that. And it's something that Lydia, I agree, we have to work at it. Okay, when I come back, more calls, more conversations about relationships. Armando, if you're listening, tons of prayers are going up to heaven for you and your situation. So just know that. Please call in 833-288-EWTN. Please call us all about relationships today.
Next time on EWTN Live, Dr. Jeremy Gadula shows how natural law should serve as the basis for all laws and how our legislative process should ultimately heed its guiding principles. On the next EWTN Live.
EWTN Live with me, Father Mitch Packwell, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on EWTN TV and radio.
Have you ever heard someone say that Catholic theology is too dogmatic, that the faith should be freer, more liberal? G.K. Chesterton says, there will be no end to the weary debates about liberalizing theology until people face the fact that the only liberal part of it is really the dogmatic part. Their problem, he says, is not that there's not enough freedom in the dogma, but rather too much. The dogma gives a man too much freedom when it permits him to fall, which means he's actually responsible for his sins. The dogma even gives God too much freedom when it permits him to suffer and die. It's not the doctrines that limit us, it's the denial of them. It's only the truth that makes us free.
Spend more time with the Apostle of Common Sense. Visit chesterton.org for more information.
EWTN Radio is all over social media. All your favorite programs are available right now, on demand for you to listen or download. Check us out on SoundCloud. Look for EWTN Radio. Remember, EWTN is everywhere.
Hi, this is Cy Kellett. Bring your questions later today on Catholic Answers Live. We'll do our best to get you an answer. Catholic Answers Live, 6 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Debbie.
When you call my name, I'll be there.
That's right. We'll be there for sure. Take two, family. You guys are awesome. You are prayer warriors. You're dedicated to prayer. I love that. I'm going to get back to the phones. Londa's going to be up next in Mississippi. Londa, hold on. Don't go anywhere. I just have to do this big shout out because it's so exciting. Congratulations going out to two more members of the EWTN radio family. New Hampshire Catholic Community Radio is celebrating 9 years with EWTN. And St. Rose Radio in Murfreesboro, Tennessee marks 8 years with us. Congratulations to Father Ray Bale and Mike Bellino in Concord, and Richard Richard and Billy Trout in Murfreesboro. From your friends here at EWTN. Okay, I want to just share something. It's Father Ray Ball. Okay, you know what? These new glasses, I'm still trying to get used to them. Okay, so I'll say that again because I love proper congratulations. Congratulations to Father Ray Ball and Mike Bellino in Concord. Okay, so I want to just share something with you real quickly. 9 years and 8 years, okay? Think how many souls are being reached and helped to grow closer to God through Catholic radio. That's a combined 17 years, folks, of preaching the gospel message on the radio airwaves 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can you see why I totally love supporting Catholic radio? And by the way, we're just finishing the summer. It's coming up. It's finishing quickly. And we're going to be heading into the fall pledge drive season for a lot of the affiliates. And so please, when your local Catholic radio station comes to you and says, we're trying to raise funds, we got to go big. We have to go big. We have to keep Catholic radio going strong. Londa is up next in Mississippi on WJX. I believe it's C. I hope so. Let me see. Yes. Hello. Hello, Londa. Welcome.
Hello. Thank
Go
you
right.
so much for taking my call.
Mm-hmm. Go right ahead.
Me and my daughter relationship is declining, and it's becoming horrific, like horrible.
Mm-hmm.
She fights me on everything. Like, I even say hello, she got something negative to say, and that's how I'm feeling. She's 24 years old. Me and my husband have done the best that we think that we have done to raise her in a religious home. We haven't Bible thumped her at all. We are Baptist. But for some reason, I saw a change in her during her senior year in high school, where she was hanging out with different people, single parent people, I can say, single parent classmates, where their household, they was raised different than our household. They had, no restrictions, no discipline, and she came to us and said, well, these parents do that. Y'all, that. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't dare have a boy stay at my house overnight. I wouldn't dare have a boy stay at my house after midnight, But that's her classmates. Their parents were allowed that. And that's when the rebellion came in right there.
Right. Okay,
So,
Londa, let me ask you a couple quick questions. Are you you're the parents of your daughter? Do you have it? But it's not like a stepchild situation or anything like that.
Oh no, this is our biological daughter. This is me and my husband's biological daughter.
Okay, and do you have other children besides this one daughter?
Yes, we have a son. He's 20 years old.
Okay, and
my daughter is 24.
Okay, gotcha. And does she still live in the home, or is she on her own?
She have moved back to the home because her relationship did not work out. We was actually paying her rent, her car note. Me and my husband was paying her rent, her car note, because she had a child,
Sure.
And my husband said that, she needs help. But what I was trying to relay to him, that if we always helping her, she's not going to get out and do it on her own,
Right. Right.
But
okay, so
it
let
came
me
down to, I'm listening to my husband.
Right. Well, let me just share a couple things, because I've been a life coach for 24 years going this year. So I just want to share with you, you're not alone. Okay. This is happening with a lot of families and their adult children, a lot. So you're not alone. So don't think like it's only what has happened. This our daughter was great. We raised her in a Christian home, and now she's doing this. It's a sign of the times of what's going on. What I would recommend, and I sincerely mean this, is to get some outside professional help to reset your family. And I would bring your son in as well and reset the family to make sure that those the respect is there, the commandments are there of honoring the father and mother, and to really just have a reset. Because sometimes when we are dealing with our adult children, we feel that they're adults, so we can talk to them like that, and we can just try to work through these things. It's not working out that way. What's happening in this world right now is that generation is saying, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm just going to, not give them the time of day. I'm not going to interact with them. I'm going to fight with them or debate them any chance I get. That's the way it's happening now. So we recommend having like a reset. If you've done that already and it hasn't worked out, I would try it again with somebody else. If you haven't done it, I would definitely do it, because it's not fair for you, and it's not fair even for her, because she's doing damage to the relationship, and she's not honoring God's commandments of honoring her father and mother. And so all the way around, people are losing out. It's kind of like a slow cutting of things. And so I would just recommend that. And obviously you and your husband being her parents, really, because you said you are from the Baptist faith tradition, go into deep scripture prayer, and really cover her with a lot of prayers, because it's really it's unfortunate. I wish I could say this is unique, but it's not. It's happening all across the board. So that I would recommend outside help. What do you say to that, Londa?
I agree. I mean, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's causing so much stress. And I mean, I'm like literally in tears because I definitely do not want a rip between me and my daughter, my only daughter, And it's just like, I agree. I'm definitely going to look that up time I get off the phone.
Well, and here's what I would do is I would ask your husband to step in and sit down with the family and say, hey guys, we're going to go for family help. And because mom is dealing with something very, very serious right now, and she cannot have any of this stress. That is not proper. God would not be pleased with that. And we're going to get this family on the right track. And so if your husband steps in and does that, that'll bring him into that. It'll let you take care of what you need to take care of. And just so you know, Londa, I put you in the prayer book. We're going to be praying because we believe, as you know, we believe in the power of prayer. And so you got to keep us posted when we can have that praise report that you get past this with the breast cancer, okay?
Thank you so much. I have surgery Friday.
Oh, this Friday?
Yes.
Okay. I've got it in the book. We'll be praying, and keep us posted. But let your husband come in with this a plan, and then he kind of lays the law down, and you guys do that, because I think I agree. You don't want the stress, and you certainly don't want to sever the relationship with your only daughter. But I have a good feeling about this. I think your husband's going to step in.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. God bless you. God bless you.
And how can I find y'all on social media?
Well, we're on YouTube right now. That's why I'm waving to everybody. And normally we're on Facebook. I think we're going to be back up on Facebook. But we have on other social media platforms. I believe we are also on Jerry. Oh yeah, we're on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. Actually, that's a great way to contact us. Go to Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, Londa, and you and I can stay in touch there. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. God bless you. God
your
bless
team
you.
and your family.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And pray for me too, because I'm having eye issues. So thank you. Okay. God bless you. Take care. Londa's going to free that phone line if you'd like to jump in. Boy, this is a very active show. You guys are really, you're lighting up the phone lines. This is a good Monday. The number to dial if you'd like to jump in on this conversation, it's all about relationships, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. So yeah, all the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, go to Jerry and Debbie. That's the easiest right now. So that would be the best. Real quickly, we're going to go to Sarah, and Sarah's in Boston, Massachusetts, on our friends at the Station of the Cross. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, go right ahead.
Hi, I'm calling also about my relationship with my daughter, who's similar to Londa's. She's 20 years old. From the start, she's always been pretty attached to me. But when she started, she has a boyfriend now who was a first-time boyfriend, and it's a first-time girlfriend for him. I think I just noticed a pulling away, and it is. She used to be very, again, being attached, very coachable in a way. I remember in middle school when she was having some troubles, I introduced her to the rosary, and I know that brought her a great deal of peace and comfort. It helped her a lot. And I just try to pull my tools out of the bag and on this one, because the boyfriend is very sweet, very nice, but he kind of engages in some self-harm behavior. So, for example, drinking, and not to kind of go out and have a good time, but more to make him feel better, because he has some feelings of not feeling very good about himself. So I want her to be cautious. I want to make sure that she is bring him into the loop. He's Catholic, but maybe more like culturally Catholic, always goes to church, but was not as big into the other sacraments. She did bring him to confession for the first time in a long, long time. But then after that, they kind of stopped kind of bringing religion into their relationship. And I'm just trying to figure out how can I navigate this while still having her come to me with these issues, because she tends, she'll shut me out a little bit when if I push too hard in one direction. So that's the gist of it.
Okay, so you shared it right there, and it was very revealing in your last comment there. If you push too hard or you make comments, so are you more of a in a listening mode when your daughter comes to you, or are you more in I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to share with you what is good for you? You honestly speaking, what would you say?
I'm both and. I'm a fantastic listener, but I'm a problem solver. So I go into problem solve mode. So she'll come to me with an issue, and then I'll go into, well, I think this, that, and the other.
Okay. Okay, so here's a suggestion. In the future, because she is starting to show her independence and she's in this relationship, and of course you want to keep tabs on it and you want to make sure this is the best relationship for your daughter. Of course, you're a great mom. So what you may want to do is when she comes to you, you set the ground rules of that discussion right up front. So when she comes to you and says, "Hey, Mom, I want to talk," say, "Okay, sweetheart, do you just want me to listen? Would you like me to help you with a plan or to talk about something? Or how would you like me to respond?" Because and the reason why I say that is when you do that with adult children, they tend to respond better with their parents. Because especially when they have been brought up in a very rich, spiritually rich household where you talk about the faith, you talk about morals and ethics and all sorts of things, they know what their parents are going to say. But they're looking for a different version of their parent. But not always. Sometimes they're looking for their typical mom or dad, and they want that answer. But sometimes they want a cheerleader, or sometimes they want just a really good listener, or sometimes they want somebody that they can trust. And they like to set the tone and the direction of the conversation. So sometimes when you do that, it doesn't always work, but I will tell you it works better with this young adult generation. Have you tried that already, and are you open to doing that?
Yeah, I am totally open. You said it in a slightly different way. I did say to her at some point, I made it a more all or nothing, which I'm glad to have your nuance on that, because I think I said, look, if you, I would love to help you, but if you tell me, then I'm going to go into this mode. So I'm going to give her that option, up front when she starts to, and then just give her that, because I do think she often will say, "Mom, I just want to know, like, I'm feeling down about something, and I just want to know that you hear me, or that you're with me in that, like, feeling lost." So, in fact, she's coming right into the car now, so I'll probably sign off. But I appreciate that. It was very, very helpful, Debbie.
Oh, good. Well, God bless you. Keep in touch with us and definitely call us again. Thank you for waiting so long to get on the show. I appreciate it. Wanted to share real quickly on talking about social media. We do have a lot of comments coming in, and I'll be sharing some. Some folks are saying that they have raised their kids Catholic, and now their adult children have gone astray, but the grandkids are now coming back around and going to Catholic schools and things of that nature. I believe it was Wendy who said that, and thank you, Wendy, but you're actually representing a ton of folks right now. So let me just share a little bit about that. When our adult children walk away from the faith, of course, we're going to continue to pray that they come back. Remember that they are baptized Catholic, so they're marked for Jesus. Jesus knows them, okay? And so we take comfort in that. But if we get the amazing opportunity for the grandkids to somehow be enrolled in Catholic school, or maybe they're allowed to come to church, to Catholic church with the grandparents, then our job as grandparents is to live out the faith as best we possibly can with the most extreme joy. I cannot stress it enough. live the faith beautifully, walk the walk, talk the talk, show like you have won the spiritual lottery on your face all the time. And let that just radiate from you onto your grandchildren. And there have been studies recently, as recent as about 5 years ago, that small children who are in certain religious education programs are bringing their parents back into the Catholic faith. So the children are actually the teachers, and I think that's pretty amazing. So be at peace with that, and if you're blessed to have your grandkids in Catholic school, if your children will allow you, be active in those schools. Do whatever you can. Maybe volunteer. We still got a lot of life in us as grandparents, so let's go for it and really help to raise this next generation of faith-filled kids. Okay, I'm going to get to, let me just check the time here. I'm trying to navigate a few different things. Let's go to Ann, who's been waiting so patiently in Detroit, Michigan, on Ave Maria Radio. Hi, Ann. Welcome.
Hi, I appreciate you taking my call. I'm 66 years old, and I thought, I can figure a lot of problems out. But my friend and I have been friends literally since 5 years old because we grew up in the same neighborhood and graduated high school, everything. So we were together a lot. So we're pretty close friends, and our families knew each other and all that type of thing. Mm-hmm. Well, fast forward, when I was 21, unfortunately, but it's been a blessing, I was pregnant and had a child out of wedlock, so I lived with a man for a couple of years till I got wise about right and wrong. But prior to that, I always tried to teach about God, and I did go to Catholic school and student public school, and I remember being on my bike, just in my little uniform, trying to teach about God. Somehow we kept our friendship throughout us. Well, when I turned 21, she was by my side, even when my family was not very good at first. She tried to help me any way she could, babysit, walk, go to eat, see my daughter so I could get my plate, just kind of be a buddy. She was there for the hardest times of my life. Like I said, my family wasn't. Things changed later. Mm-hmm. So I had this kind of like, I don't want to say bond, but whatever, closeness to her. Well, fast forward about 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with COPD, and it's gotten progressively worse. And at first I did help her. Even when she was just had some depression, I'd go when my son was in school, I'd clean her kitchen, like straighten things out, help her here and there. Sure. Of course, we talked on the phone all the time about our life. And I tried to be a good friend. And I didn't really have to try. We were roommates for a while because we were friends. But now that she has this diagnosis, it's gotten so difficult for me. My husband's been ill. I have other children now to take care of that were high school and college, and you can understand the demand. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm not there for her. Mm-hmm. All kinds of comments. And when I do reach out to her, she won't answer because she's been say, sorry, I can't talk right now. It's always when it's convenient for you. Comments how I can't believe you're leaving me hanging like this. In the meantime, she has a son close to the son I have now. And he's trying to do what he can, but she's so negative. It's incredible. Like, people see her on Facebook. They'll actually call me and say, is she suicidal? I almost can't stand to answer the phone. It's taking a toll on me. I have some of my own issues right now. Right. I don't know how to do what to handle it because I don't want to abandon her. It's all or nothing.
Sure.
She won't settle. I tried to take her out to lunch, and that didn't go well.
Right. I totally understand. Okay, I've heard this situation many times. Like I said, I'm in life coaching ministry. We hear this all the time, especially when somebody has a major illness or is possibly could die in the near future, and they start to require a lot more from people, and people are unable to give it, even though they do love and care about that person. What we recommend, and just take this and take it into prayer and see if this would work, is to send messages one way. You don't have to get a response back if she's in a bad place that day, not feeling good, but send messages or handwritten notes or some kind of something to remind her on a regular basis how much you do appreciate the friendship, how much you do have a love for her, how you think about her all the time, how you're sending prayers all the time. And then also share that it's so unfortunate that you have a lot of things right now going on in your life. So you're trying to balance and juggle and do all the things that you need to do. But that doesn't mean in any way, shape, or form that you love her less or you care about her less. You want the best for her, and you want her to know that. And let it be one way. Let it just stream one way from you to her. You don't expect any response back. You can even say to your friend, listen, I know you're probably tired right now, or you're dealing with a lot. You don't have to respond back. I just need you to know how much I love you. Because that's when people are in this kind of state, they feel very, very alone. They feel very isolated, and they start to get very angry. They go through all those feelings of emotions and grief and all sorts of things that go on when you're faced with a serious illness. So that's what I would suggest to do. And it would require you to put some of that kind of effort in, to just stream her with positive, beautiful messages of how much you care. And also say, I wish I could be there 24/7. Unfortunately, I can't. I've got to take care of these other things. So I'm doing the best I can, but I am here for you always, and how much I love you. And so if you reassure her, she may come around. Now, she may still be angry and say, oh, forget it. I'm done. You can't take it personally because she's going through so much. So I don't know if that helps you, but that's the best I can offer today. What do you think?
Well, I like the idea about being positive and trying not to take it personally, because when I've done that, so to say, yeah, it's easy to say, I don't see you over here helping me. I don't see you taking me out, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But then, say I could, she's not available. My father was dying of cancer, and I'm just in that to tell her my, hierarchy of who I can do well for, and she can be the first non-blood relative, but it's not cutting it for her. So I guess I'll just try to bear it then. I didn't know if I should.
Yeah, I would never take anything personal that happens from a person who's been given a diagnosis, a terminal illness, or any type of situation. They're going through so much. I know, because I worked with folks like that for many years, and I've been through it myself. They really are not meaning. They don't mean to hurt another person. They're hurting so badly inside, they don't know what to do with that pain.
Thank you, because I thought maybe she actually once said, people will treat you the way you allow it. So I'm glad you're telling me I'm not wrong. Just keep on, just buck up and pull up my bootstraps. And when I've got some energy, give her a call. And if she's a little rude, oh well. And if I can stop by with a piece of a donut or something, I will. So don't give up is what you're saying. Right.
And offer it up. Anything that she's throwing back at you, just offer it up. I mean, she's going through a lot. I mean, it's tough. And yeah, it could benefit you spiritually both ways. So, but I mean, obviously you don't want to be abused or anything like that. But if it's something you can deal with, I would say just to keep showering her one way, how much you care about her, and kind of distance yourself from the feelings of it. Okay?
Okay, because she has been verbally abusive. So now that you said that, I'll realize it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. If that crosses a line, you got to pull back a little bit to save yourself from things. But if it doesn't, then you'll know which way to go. Ann, you're awesome. Thank you so much. There's another Ann in Philadelphia we're not going to get to today, and Dawn in Houston, Texas. I'm so sorry. And the rest on social media. You hear the music. I didn't even get to beautiful, all the great shows on Podcast Central today. So there's so many things, but you guys packed the phone lines. I wanted to get to the phones. Thank you so much to Matt answering phones, and Michael on social media, and Charles, our producer. Incredible. All About Relationships is very popular. It's once a month, so you can catch us next month with your relationship. Tomorrow, what's the worst trouble you've ever been in? Ooh, that's going to be a good one. See you real soon.
The most original.